Hey, what's up? Welcome to the show. Feeling good with Duddy. That's me. Let's go. All right. We are back with another episode of Feeling Good with Duddy. How you guys doing? As always, I am joined with my brother, my co-host, Mr. Jake Bushnell. Hello. And today, we have a very special guest, a good friend of mine, Mr. Red Page from Poor Man's Change. Red, how are you, brother?
Good, good. Thank you for having me on, my friend.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for taking time out of your day and blessing us with your presence.
Oh man, this is a really great experience and stoked to be here.
Nice. How are things with you? What's up with Poor Man's Change? Anything cool happening?
Oh yeah, man. Just getting ready to release a new album coming up in summer. Creating some cool new sounds. In the meantime, uh, looking for great shows to share our music with all the good folks and just keep doing the thing.
Right. I mean, that's the idea with the band. Hope putting out what you think's good and hoping people enjoy it. That's all you can do.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
You never
Absolutely.
You never know. You know how many times I've written a song and been like, "This is great," and I show the guys just in my band, and they're like, "This is fucking garbage," and you're like, "Oh."
know. You thought this was great?
It happens more than not.
Right.
So
How'd you guys
Yeah,
meet? I
for
know you
those-
guys.
yeah,
I just met Red today, but Duddy, you guys have a little bit of a history.
yeah.
we
For
go
those who
back,
don't
man.
know, Red, I met Red a couple years back, 4 years ago or so. A good friend of mine, Dean. Um, we were starting to work together. Started this company called Cutlass Brand, and I
Right.
started going out to Newport Beach, I believe it was, and yeah, it was where Cutlass actually already had like a little you know they had a little shop out there. So I would go out there and I started rapping with Dean about how I can jump in with this and we could start working together. And Red would be there, in the back working on the computer and
Learning the ropes. Dude.
yeah, learning the ropes,
Learning
doing
the
the
ropes.
thing. And, he's been, along with us on the ride, the Cutlass ride the whole time. He's designed many of the cool designs for Cutlass for us. He does the Bloody Duddy every year. For those of you who, follow me and follow the Cutlass, you probably know what the Bloody Duddy is.
Yep.
And Red does that one.
And thanks for everyone who's rocking those shirts. I've seen them out at festivals, and it's really cool to see the artwork, on the shirts and people wearing them and enjoying them.
Yeah, I think it's without doubt our best-selling shirt and fan favorite shirt every year. People look forward to it.
It's this cool series that you kind of came up with. The idea was like every Halloween, where we want to kind of come up with something new and to be able to share with people. So it just went off with a hit, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah, man, it's been awesome. And every year that you make the design right when we post it, people just freak out, and it's awesome.
You know what's
great.
funny that I never even thought about this, but obviously you're a musician. You hope people are listening to your music. Every once in a while, you might pull up next to a car and hear, oh, they're listening to my band. If you're big enough, that's kind of crazy. That as an artist, I never thought about that. You're sitting at a festival and you're just seeing your design on the backs of all these people walking by. That's got to be kind of
Dude,
awesome.
it's a small blessing.
Dude,
And
that's
like you see
amazing.
it, it's just exactly like you say, man. You have that feeling. You're like, whoa, there's time put in to create that. There's these ideas behind it, and then to see it come to life, and people walking around with it, you're like, right on, man.
That's
Like
amazing.
there's pride that goes into that.
Yep.
You're very thankful that people want to
For sure.
buy that design or be a part of that. And Cutlass is a great brand altogether, lifestyle wise, and we try to come with the best designs as possible. And I think it's a great collaborative movement of ideas that happen there that are just it's cool to be able to share for sure.
That's crazy.
Definitely. I mean, it's been a fun project, and and I always look forward to seeing the designs you send over. On the talk of seeing people at the shows and stuff, wearing the designs that you came up with. Red also, every time the Dirty Heads are playing at a festival and Cutlass has a booth there, Red goes out there and runs the booth for like 3 days, and that's gotta be crazy because it's like obviously I've been to these festivals, but when I go, I play one show one night.
Right.
and I'm not there the other days, and I'm there usually for a couple hours. You're there for 3 days, and
Dude.
not only there, like right in the thick of it, like you've got to probably meet some pretty interesting people.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's definitely a gathering of like really, creative people, artsy people, music lovers in general, and being there at the booth is just like ground zero, man. We not only get your fans, obviously, from your music. We get Cutlass fans that are just have been introduced to the brand without the music, and then you get the connection between the two as well, and it's like
Totally.
you get all these great personalities. And I think one of the coolest things is like that when we're there, you're going to see people that you've seen 2-3 festivals ago, and like when we were at this Long Beach, we were at the last Long Beach show, right, dude? So we're there hanging out, and it's like I ran into a few people who had come to the booth, and it's like, whoa, dude, I haven't seen you since Cali Roots, and we're like, well, that was 2 years ago, and you go like,
That's
wow,
crazy.
so for somehow like, you
still
made
have
that
that
connection 2 years ago, and then you see some, you see them later, and you're like, whoa, dude. Great to see it, and they're wearing the new stuff. They're up to date. They're they're excited to see what's next, what's new, and yeah, man, it's really cool.
No, it's cool. Yeah, we always actually.
You.
Oh, look at Jake doesn't even know how to mute his
That's
phone.
my agent. Big things coming. All right, guys. Can you take it from here? I gotta take this. Oh man,
that's a serious
heavy.
ringtone, my man.
You know what? I keep it creepy.
You got
24 hours a day. Speaking of creepy, so I worked the merch booth not only for my band when I was on tour, but I worked the merch booth for the Dirty Heads for a while. And here's the deal that a lot of people might not think about the merch guy. Sometimes you are the tangible piece of that band that people can reach out and touch. It's like, I'm not meeting the band, but I'm at the merch. I know
close.
the merch guy.
The gatekeeper.
And
You're like,
dude,
you're right there.
I almost know that there's some straight lurkers, dude. Because I remember there's people that come to they're just lurking around the merch booth, and they're staring, and they're praying that the band guy will come out. Oh, man, it's not, most people are great, obviously, but dude.
There's definitely a few. You get you get the zombies where they've just had a full day of festival, and they know where like Duddy might be.
Yep.
And they're like, they'll just come over and they just kind of cruise, and you're like, oh man, I've kind of seen you around here a couple times. You're doing some hot laps,
Dude.
It's interesting, man. It's cool to see, because on the flip note, you get this like these really vibrant people, man, that are super stoked. And it's you get a mix of everything. You're in a place where there's so many people and so many different personalities, and it's really cool to experience all that. For 3 days, you're like, whoa. And you get to hear music for 3 days, some really great music for yeah, dude. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thanks, boss.
No, I could imagine that it has its ups and its downs, but I mean this in the best way possible. But I feel like you get to do, at one of the best places ever to do this, one of my favorite pastimes, and it's just people watch.
Yeah. Oh, the best.
100%.
I could do it all day, every single day.
Yeah. You're just like, you're just sitting there checking out the scenery, man.
And just judging.
And it's the wildlife.
You're just there's nothing better than when there's another merch booth set up next to you, and that merch guy's awesome, or girl, because then you got a judging partner.
You got a panel.
Sometimes the merch booth is where it's at.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a good crew of merch people, it's like, dude, you're partying every night. It's fun.
Absolutely.
We play this game sometimes called My Team, and if we're just sitting there like people watching, and you see someone pretty, you say
this.
My Team.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then everyone looks up and they find who you're talking about. They go, damn. I wanted him on my team.
Should have been scouting.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we've set up with like next to the Law Records guys, which you see those guys and you're like, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Again, there's like the community that start to be built from just continuous shows.
Yeah.
And you're seeing people, man. It's just all day, 3 days, man. 4 days sometimes. Well, it's like 4 days. Plus the pregame that we got to have to pack the boxes, put things together, make it quick, so, people are stoked on transactions, and, yeah, it's really cool, man.
And then what happens every time it seems to us is
Fucking rains.
you guys get this call in the middle of the night. Hey guys, it's pouring rain out. You might want to get down here. All your shit's getting wet.
Yeah.
God, bunch of
I
wet
think-
cardboard boxes.
Dude,
Perfect.
I think that's happened like almost every time.
I think it's
just
literally
one
every
rainy day,
time.
and then it's soggy. The tent just stays, soggy. It's like it's a water bed for 3 days, dude, or two, like mixed two.
Just shining a light on the merch, guys. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, dude,
you
shout out
know-
to the merch guys,
you know
right?
what,
The guys that
man?
are out there just.
That's a hard job, though. Check it out,
That
though.
is a job.
Yeah.
I will throw this out for merch guys, man. They are working all day, every day. Like when
Yeah.
you're on the road, they are like it's a hard job.
And then the number crunch.
Then the number crunch. They're not done when all the
Nope.
labor, the daily labor's over. Yeah, and now you're done. You're on the bus, and the day's over. No, now start crunching those numbers.
Right.
It's a fucking hard job.
So be nice to merch
So
people.
be nice. You know what?
Don't lurk.
And because it makes you feel good to be nice to people.
Oh.
And on the subject of
The segue, Captain.
Oh my God, that was so.
That was smooth, man.
It's like I've done this 2 times before this one. We're gonna get into it. Feeling good with Duddy. We like to talk about things that make us feel good. And today, the subject it's gonna be live your best life, and not like you're thinking. Like live your best life. Don't live a life to make other people think you're cool, or live to do something to try to be somebody else. You're not in competition with anybody else. You're really only in competition with yourself to be better than you were yesterday. As long as you are better today than you were yesterday, I think that's kind of the goal, to keep taking these steps. And my brother had a great line he told me today that was, impress yourself. I think most people are concerned with impressing other people, and they're doing things because they're thinking, if I do this, this person will think I'm cool, or if I do this, maybe I'll get some money, or I'll get this cool car, or whatever it is. But it's not, if I do this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I will be happy with myself. So I think live your best life, not someone else's, and be impressed with yourself. Because if you are truly impressed with yourself, if you're living so true that you are impressed with yourself, I'm guessing everyone else around you is probably going to be impressed with you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
100%.
great statement.
We were talking
Yeah.
on the last show about how you cannot lie to yourself.
You cannot.
That's kind of the recurring theme. Like, we live in Southern California, you guys. This is the land of competition. Everybody's looking at their neighbor and what they're doing, or their friend on Instagram, and I wish I was in Tahoe, or wherever they are. And we're just trying to bring it back down to you're not in competition with anyone in this world. You're just you. So like Duddy said, hey, just try to be a better you today. And if you do that every day, that one thing, try to be the best you today, every day will be great. You'll be happy with yourself, and that's the goal. Happy.
Yeah.
That's
Happy.
it.
It's true.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day,
That's
it doesn't
it.
matter. Everything you're doing doesn't matter if at the end of the day you're not happy.
Yep. Nothing. That's
It's just, you got to think that way. So don't think about, I need to get all these things so that I can be happy. No, you don't. At the end of the day, you just got to look at yourself and be like, am I happy with myself today, with what I did today? Do I feel like I'm a little better today than I was yesterday? Yeah, and it's probably going to make you happy with yourself, and that's going to make you be able to go and be happy and spread love to other people.
Right. Yeah. Share that feeling and attract the kind of people that you want around you, and
Yep.
just kind of
That's
it
big.
radiates.
It
That's big.
absolutely radiates. If you're not competing with anyone, then you won't be hating on anyone. You won't be concerned with anyone else. You'll be concerned with yourself, and you'll be a positive person, and other people will pick up on that immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Immediately.
I think it also goes into the type of work that you do too. If you're if in all aspects, if you're stoked on what you're doing, you're passionate about what you're doing, you're putting that little extra in it that gives it, something that it normally wouldn't have
Yeah,
if
people
you were
could
just
see
kind of
through
doing
that.
it without the passion or the feeling of like, I really enjoy this, So I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
one,
no,
for sure.
I feel you. I mean, yeah, because I think, with adding on to what you're saying, it's like, and I think people see through that. If you're doing something for an outcome that isn't because you're passionate and you love this and it makes you happy, if you're doing that like, say for instance, if you were a musician and you were in a band and you loved it when you were younger, and now, you're doing it just because it's your job, people kind of see through that, and it shows in your music even. Like
100%.
older music,
Yeah,
like some older musicians. I won't name anyone. Honestly, off the top of my head, I can't even think of one. But you see it, like the albums start to kind of lack. They're not, you can just tell the performances become stale, and you're like, this is just a paycheck to you now.
Everyone starts playing music because they love it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody picks up the guitar for the first time and goes, it's because I'm going to be a rock star. Now that you pick it up because you like music and you want to play your favorite song.
Yeah.
Eventually, at some point, you might get good enough where you can make it your living, and that's where it can get to the point where if you don't really love being a musician, it'll show in your music. But some people never lose that first time they picked up the guitar. You just love playing music or baseball or whatever it is so much.
I think that's the spirit of it, and that's one of those things where, like, the spirit of whatever you're doing, if you're playing, if you're painting, if it doesn't really matter. It's pretty.
It applies really to anything.
To anything, yeah.
Really anything.
And if you don't lose that spirit, you get that thing about it that just is the magic, And I think people gravitate towards that. And at the end of the day, you're doing it for yourself, and you're sharing, and you're hoping that people recognize, or no, actually not even that. You're just sharing and hoping there might be somebody out there listening that goes, hey man, I like that too. Yeah. Or with no expectation. I may be a little contradictive there, but with hoping someone looks, but listens. But at the same time, you're doing stuff with a whole heart. You're doing it from that spirit of the song or the spirit of the painting, and you're moving forward from there, and just kind of without the expectation, I guess what I'm saying.
And what you're saying too is, I guess, make sure you're writing songs that you like.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of musicians that are doing it just for a job, and honestly, that's fine because not everybody can have their dream job. A lot of people might be listening, going, "Well, hey, I'm not a musician. It's easy to say or whatever."
Hey, if you found your niche and you're making some good money on it, and it's really not your thing, but you're like, if I don't do this, I have to go, do that. I'm not going to like that either.
Right.
Yeah.
So I might as well do this because I'm good at it and I'm making some money. I get it. I'm not hating at you.
Yeah, most people work a job they don't love or are passionate about, but what you do is you find the hobby, the thing that you are passionate about, and your job supports that.
Right.
Yeah.
Just do what makes you happy.
Well, then again, too, to kind of like to go back to what you were saying, is just the being happy. It doesn't necessarily have to be a career either.
Yep.
It's just in your day to day. Some things may be like, it may be like, I don't know. There's a million examples out there, dude.
Too many.
Just some things out there that, like, your day to day little stuff, your interaction with people. Hey, how you doing? Starting a conversation. The meet and greets when you're leaving to and from a store, whatever it may be.
Totally.
Those are small things that matter as well.
Absolutely.
And I think accumulate to putting the puzzle together of happiness.
And it all comes down to, like, guess what, Jake? Feeling good.
Feeling good, man.
And
Enjoy
on the
the
subject
ride.
of feeling good, with Daddy, we're going to talk about our sponsors we cook, because on this show, we have a couple sponsors, and they are all things that make me feel good. And we are going to start off with whiskey. Whiskey makes me feel good. I love whiskey, and I love this whiskey, Proper 12. If you haven't tried this, go out and grab a bottle. I didn't try it till a few days ago. It was the first time I tried it, and I was so surprised. It's so good. It goes down so easy. It's actually kind of scary how easy it is to take a shot of it, and I'm going to prove that by taking a shot of it. Jake, while you pour those, I will continue the sponsor talk. Next, Koi CBD. I don't know if you've tried CBD products or not. I think a lot of people have a misconception about CBD, and they think they might get high. They think, oh, it's weed. It comes from the hemp plant, and it is all natural, and there's no psychoactive effects from it. You will not get high from this, but you will get help with pain relief, inflammation, and my favorite part of it is it's a mood enhancer for me. And it doesn't make me tired at all, but it definitely relaxes me and takes a little bit of stress off and edge off the day. I use it every single morning, like coffee now. I wake up, water, a little bit of CBD. I'm gonna take some right now, and I go about my day, and it feels great. KoiCBD.com. Go there right now. Check out all the cool products they have, and you go and you type in code DuddyB at checkout. Yeah, 20% off. Right then and there, boom, can't beat it. And it's delicious. KoiCBD.com, check it out. And then next, last but not least, we have Sticky Vapes, another product I use daily. I always have one of these on me. I'm a busy guy, and if you know me, you know I like to get high. But I can't be running around all day just smelling like pot, like, blasting bong tokes.
He does.
I
but
do still
yeah,
sometimes.
he's not
But
saying-
my point is, this is great because it's small. Take a couple hits of it. There's not a lot of smoke flying around, and I don't smell like it, and it's great, and I don't have to make a big deal about smoking. So stickyvape.com, check them out. Great product, great people. Let's take this shot.
I took a sticky vape into a movie theater and just blasted out. Dude. Nobody said a word.
Cinematic adventure.
I enjoy it. It enhanced the adventure, no doubt. Red, are you in?
Well played.
Oh, okay. The man's got to drive a bike.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Daddy. Cheers, Bing.
You.
Okay, so moving along. I know you guys have played South by Southwest.
Yes, sir.
We have played South by Southwest. What a crazy little situation that is. Like, you roll into town and you're like, whoa.
Dude.
You're not going to find a parking spot within
No.
3 miles.
No.
And there's a band playing within every 20 feet.
Yep.
And I might be even a little off. It might be like every 10 feet. It
Close.
seems like there's a band playing. How was your experience with that?
Dude, that was a lifetime. Like, it was on the bucket list of shit to do, and going down. First, you got to kick it from the ride from here to Texas. Because I don't know how you did it, dude, but we legged it in the Ford Econoline 350
Oh, yeah. We
mint
did it,
condition
too.
2000. Just
Woo!
Dude,
from
we
here
sang.
to there.
For those of you that don't know, California to Texas, I mean, it is just desert the whole. How many hours?
27. I've done it.
27.
We did this straight. Like, we had
Oh.
left at one point. Well, I'll get to that, but just
Yeah.
the journey, man,
Oh,
from here
heavy.
to there is like, you got some time. You got some time.
Is it
And
just
you're-
me, or does it seem like you can drive through Texas for 3 days?
Oh,
Yeah, dude. It is huge. It is huge. And just to get to El Paso, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but from like where we're situated and located, from here to like El Paso is like, if you kind of do the finger on the mark on the map thing, where you're like, put one here, it's almost like you just made it to the edge of Texas, but then that's the same amount of time to get to the center of Texas, dude. You're like, that's a big
It's
state,
insane.
dude.
It's huge. Yeah.
It's humongous.
And I think it's like a no tolerance state, so you're not even puff and tough in the van. You're
No,
like
no.
paranoid driving
Yep.
through Texas.
Oh, yeah.
When
I
we
mean,
had
big
gone
time.
through with that, they had the dogs out and everything.
Yeah.
We just rolled through a little checkpoint somewhere, and I think you were already in Texas at that point.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, well, aren't we already in Texas? Okay, here's another, just to make sure, so you know.
you
Just
thought
so
you were all
know.
good.
They'll sniff you down. You go to Texas,
Yeah,
you'll
we
get sniffed.
definitely like certain checkpoints going into Texas. We know as a band, like we usually kind of get rid of a lot of
Yeah,
those stuff
yeah, drop
before
it
we
off,
go
right,
there.
right.
I've heard nightmare stories
Yep.
from good friends of mine of just getting rolled for pretty much what you would think, like a little bit of pot and some bongs and things,
Right,
like would have in a
roach in the
band.
ashtray.
Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Just like your normal fucking people smoking pot stuff and
Right,
getting
right.
rolled like hard.
Yeah, man.
Tour over.
Yeah.
You know?
So we played South by Southwest. We did it like that, and same with you. I mean, this was a long time ago, and we did it same thing. We drove our van out there, and it was the
Yeah.
endless drive. And we got there, and it was funny. And if anyone knows my manager Cheese, and if you heard episode 1, this will make fucking perfect sense to you. He gets there before us, and he's like, "Hey, I'm here," and I actually talked to the Hooters, and they're saving you guys a spot in the parking lot, and I'm here. They even saved me a spot for my camper in the parking lot, and I'm going to be waiting for you guys here.
Nice.
So-
Talk about a solid location
Right.
choice, dude.
Yeah.
So
He rolled in, dude. He's
we
like,
pull
this is the
in.
spot. Cool, man.
We fucking pull into Hooters and park our van and trailer, and we roll in, and he has a buffet of food set up for us. And if you've ever
So
been to
cool.
Hooters, it was just a golden table. Every single thing was fried. It was a table of gold.
Yeah, they got eats there, dude. Texas don't play, man. They got some solid food. It was in the, what is it, Torchy's Tacos? And man, that spot, we ate there like 3 consecutive days just to try to go through the menu.
Yeah.
Because
Trying to hit everything Torchy's had.
I've never had it, so I think is that more like a Tex-Mex?
No, dude, it's just like they make these really great tacos, and they'll like, I don't know. There's so many hybrids, dude. You just kind of like, they have this wild menu,
that is
and
amazing.
their food is just flavorful. And even El Paso, that's probably where I had the best Tex-Mex, dude. When you went down there, you're like,
El Paso's got good food.
Man.
Yeah.
You want to eat,
You're just on the border.
Well, because you get used to food around here, and you're like, okay, cool. And then you just kind of go, you make your way down there, and then you go into El Paso.
So,
dude, this place is great. So now this is like, okay, put that on the map for next time because we went twice. So it was like the first one was the cool learning experience, driving from here to there. We get into Texas, and we had kind of last minute it kind of thing. So we had like 3 shows booked the first time we went, and we go out there and we play the first show, play the second. During the second, somebody like recommended us this bar, so we started like after we played, we bar hopped and we were like, okay, let's go check out the downtown 6th Street, so on and so forth. Yeah. And we end up going to party at I think Rustic Tap. So we end up cruising to Rustic Tap, and they're like, hey man, can we play?
And their shit was set up already. Can we just play on that?
They're like,
you know how it goes. It's just it's the door to door, and they're like, yeah man, for sure, come back tomorrow at like, are you for real? They're like, yeah man, just come on back. So anyhow, we end up cruising back the next day, got that show. They liked us, and they're like, hey man, you should try over here. So we walked over there after, tried that. So we ended up filling the whole like time we were there. It was like 5 days.
That's beautiful.
Back-to-back shows. But then the cool thing was we had met a few people. So the following year, we did the pregame. We're like, okay, cool. We got this. Now we got a rhythm here, man. This is cool, right? So we end up calling out a few people, sending out the emails, doing the whole nine. And the next time we rode down there, it was epic, dude, because it was back-to-back shows. And I'm not sure with your experience, but we would play at like 12 o'clock. And then you're set, we do 45 an hour, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's loading it in.
Oh,
and like you said, with parking, there ain't no fucking place to park, dude.
No.
And we had the van, and we ended up finding this like great little Airbnb to stay at, but it was still inside the like city.
Yeah.
So we couldn't park the van in the parking structure. So now we're going to Home Depot to padlock the motherfucker so nobody's crowbarring it open.
Terrifying.
Because all your gear's in there, right?
Your whole life is right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a thing.
It is.
People's trailers
dude,
just
it
get
happens.
jacked.
Yeah, dude.
It's happened to probably like 8 bands that I know.
Yep. It's like it's an epidemic.
Dude, it's always a sad moment when they fire that
that email or
the post, and you're like, damn, dude. Heartfelt guitars are in there.
That
man,
happened to you
just
guys.
yeah,
that happened to you guys.
Our trailer got stolen from
our
underneath
parents'
my
house.
window
No
at home.
way.
Yeah. The band, we were off tour. The trailer was parked underneath my window. I wake up the next morning and I look outside. I'm like,
Something ain't right.
I'm like, wait, what? Rolled
Gone.
it out, dude. Rolled it out underneath me.
Oh no.
Heavy. Yeah.
Dude.
So sorry to interrupt you.
No, man, no. I'm just take a moment for that.
Feeling good
Hey,
with
return
returning
that shit. If you hear this podcast, bring that band gear back, dude. My man wants to fire
The
it
cops
back
found
up.
it 2 years later.
Did they?
Straight
Hey,
up,
you know
dude.
what?
The
Thumbs
bass
up,
amp
man.
was gone, but we got our merch back. Awesome. Thanks.
Too cool, man. Well, yeah, and you go, you're trying to find a place to park, so then I kind of got a little mixed up there, but to get back to the show, anyhow, we ended up doing, we had booked it out to where we were doing back-to-back. So we started doing, you load in at 12, right? Got to figure out you're parking in the middle of the street, somebody's out there, flashers on, all the crews fucking hucking gear into the venue. You set up, you play, 45 minutes later, you tear down, and then it's all back in the fucking van.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're trucking, maybe quarter of a mile, if that.
A couple blocks.
Couple blocks.
Yeah.
But that couple blocks is a serious deal,
nightmare.
right?
The worst.
To the next venue. setting up, playing, and this happens for it's a grind, man.
It's a
you know,
grind.
it's the marathon, you know.
Dude, much like we
Thing
shined a
going
light on the merch guys earlier in the show, this is
Yeah.
another unseen part of the music experience,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And this kind of even ties back into just living your best life, because everything you see on Instagram is the band on stage, mid-jump, bass out, tongue out, right? You didn't fucking think about it. It took
Oh,
4.5 hours, dude. Nightmare.
Yeah.
Shit.
We had played that particular time. We played the Rustic Tap again. We went and seen them. So shout out to there. They have this rad sticker that says, "Where the fuck is Rustic Tap?"
Nice.
So we
Apparently,
played,
it's in Austin.
Yeah.
So just so everyone
You
knows,
fucked
right?
up the sticker now, but it's it's an I heard the show.
So we played the Rustic Tap, and then we again threw everything back in the van, and then we were playing at the top of the Westin Hotel. So
That's kind of tight.
it's really
That's
cool,
got-
but it's 30 stories up. in
Here's the fucking other part you don't know
Right,
about. Yes,
so
the show.
How did the gear get up there?
Yeah.
The coolest thing is so we end up parking. We throw the stuff back in the gear back in the van, and then we end up going to the Westin. We park across the street, all hands on deck. Everyone's out, pulling the gear out. They take us to the service elevator, and dude, literally, we packed whatever was in the back of the van, got fit into the service elevator. Ding, rooftop, and this place was a great place to fucking play, dude.
Yeah,
You're at
I
the
bet.
top of the Westin, sunset's hitting,
Oh, I
dude.
bet that view was
Pool
awesome.
parties happening, beers flowing, music's pumping. It was a then again too, let's get back to that, like, gotta love what you do, and you gotta do the busy work, sometimes to get that paycheck, that personal paycheck of like, dude, I'm here playing, and this is a really cool thing. So I had to move some amps. I had to, do some heavy lifting and all that stuff, along
Sometimes
the way.
you gotta do it, man.
So you gotta love what you do.
It's
got
all
it.
worth it for that 45 minutes.
Oh,
When it's
man.
set up,
Yeah, it is.
holy it's like an MMA fighter says, like, all the time training sucks ass just so
Right.
you can have that moment of glory at the end when you
Yeah.
get to fight.
Yeah.
Everything else sucks, and that's a lot of music industry is tough, hard work, but that
Right.
time on stage usually
Is there.
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you've experienced that so many times.
Oh,
how,
yeah.
how does that, how has that progression been for you? Like, because you've started from where I'm at,
Yeah.
what we're doing, just the
grind,
grassroots,
the
the
grind.
normal grind of playing as many shows, building fan base, so on and so forth.
You know what? It's like a long road, but there's so many steps along the way, and each step is like a full on accomplishment.
Yeah.
And when you do reach that, you get this moment of like, oh man, this is amazing. I've been wanting this for so long, but right when you get that, you realize, but I'm still so far away.
Ah,
I'm proud
right.
of myself, but I'm not where I want to be. So
Right.
then you keep going and you hit that next spot because that's where you want to be. You're thinking
Right.
that. And then you get there and you're like, I'm doing it. I'm where I wanted to be. And then like 2 days later, you're like, I'm happy and I'm proud of myself,
Yeah.
but I'm not where I want to fucking be.
Right.
And it's like almost a long road of the same feelings, but it's a great feeling because I love what I'm doing, and I do know that when it comes to music, I give it everything I have
100%.
because I love music so much and I respect music so much for what it does for this world, really.
Yeah.
I mean, people, it is their, and not for everyone, but for a lot of people, it's like their everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling really bummed and alone and depressed. Like I know what song and what album I'm listening to.
Right.
And that's for most people. Or I'm going on vacation. I know exactly what album I'm listening to.
Right.
And then also to hear a song you haven't heard in a long time and it brings you back to like this memory and this moment from when you, and it makes you feel so good, It's like, and there's not a lot of things in this world that are just such a natural just thing that just happened, and it's like now it's just kind of it's huge. It's huge, and I love it, and I think that's why I'm able to do it this long and continue to want to be better at it because I fucking love it.
Dude, that's super inspiring, man. It's great, like the passion that's there, and yeah, man, incredible. And thank you. I'm getting lots of words of wisdom
No,
here, man.
Yeah, I mean,
In the mix.
because like I mean, we literally talked about it. I mean, if at the end of the day, if you're not happy with yourself,
Right.
then you're not gonna fucking be happy. You're gonna go out and be bummed, and it's like you gotta do what you love. So yeah, I mean, I honestly like I feel blessed every day that I get to do what I love, and the thing that I love doing makes other people feel good and be happy, and it's just like that's like double win.
Dude, and it inspires. I mean, even being at the Cutlass booth and hanging out and just like, dude, we have fans that come up, you know, obviously, and you know many of them, and they're
Honestly, some of the fans we have, I feel like are my friend, like a lot of them, because I see them so much. I see them everywhere, and it's like, hey, what's up, you know?
yeah, man, yeah.
You guys have a unique fan base. It's
have
almost
the
like a
best.
Grateful Dead style thing where it's a lifestyle to be a Dirty Heads fan. It's not just I dig their songs. It's like, oh no, I dress, I act, I feel.
So
it's a vibe that you're putting out.
And that being said, if you're a big Dirty Heads fan and you want to go be around a cool community of Dirty Heads fans, go check out the Wicked and Wiley on Facebook.
Yeah.
We didn't do this. We had nothing to do with this. They made their own fan page and they called it the Wicked and Wiley, and they built this amazing community that's gone so much further than just a community that talks about the Dirty Heads. They help each other out, like they're family. They built this huge family, kind of based around the Dirty Heads, but it's way bigger than that now. So if you're out there and you're a Dirty Heads fan and you're listening to this and you're looking for somewhere to go and like hang out with some like-minded people, go check out the Wicked and Wiley on Facebook. It's a pretty cool spot.
Yes, and I've had the pleasure of meeting a few of the Wicked and Wiley men, and they're just like super inviting conversation-wise. You know, it's like you said, like-minded people, great community of people that enjoy music, and super positive, man. They come.
Positive.
They're always they're at every show, and you know I always meet actually a new one somewhere if I'm at the booth.
It's growing rapidly.
Or and then you're at you're on the break time grabbing a little bite to eat, and you're like, hey, what's up? You're in line, okay? I'm gonna grab a burger and a beer, and you know it's cool, man. It's cool, but with the South by Southwest stuff, man, is like you're saying, bands firing off every day. The experience of being on stage, man, there's nothing like that.
There's nothing. I had a special experience at South by Southwest. We played South by Southwest when I told you we drove the van that we did that, and I mean, literally, we didn't hustle like you guys and go get ourselves extra shows because we're fucking lazy. But same thing, like it was like back-to-back couple shows. And each day, we were there like 2 days, and I think like each day we had like 3 shows, you know, and it was like crazy. It was insane. And like the first show was at noon, and the last show was at like 2 in the morning. You know, you're like, okay, I'm playing at 2 in the morning tonight.
And for people that don't know, South by Southwest, it's big bands will play at like a bar.
Right.
Well, at this time we weren't really a big band. We were still
okay.
we were still like on the hustle, you know, and we were playing.
So it'll be like Red Hot Chili Peppers are at like 100-person bar.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
South by Southwest.
Yeah.
But so you were doing 3 shows a day.
It's a huge platform, and like everyone's invited, and like he was saying, every 10 feet, every 25 feet, because these bars are back to back on certain places.
It's crazy,
and you hear some of the most talented people. Dude, we were just cruising, and you'd see there was this dude that was just on the street. I mean, like street musician performers, dude. And I'm like, you know, you stroll by, and you're like, he's out there just going to town, and you go, fuck, dude, you know. Why aren't you on stage?
The best guitar player you've ever seen is a hobo in Austin.
Sure.
Like straight up on the corner, just ripping.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ripping.
They're no joke.
No, yeah, it's true. It's totally true. But I actually, on a side note, I totally forgot about this because I was going to go into another story about South by Southwest. But when we did play there, so randomly, at that time, somewhere near then, like right before then, we had done a tour with Mishka. And first off, what an amazing group of fucking people, like the nicest camp ever. And we had such a good time with them, and we're still in contact with some of them to this day. But their manager was Matthew McConaughey, right? So just randomly because, God.
No way,
I'm going to say the wrong place, but
whatever.
Mishka grew up somewhere along the lines of like Cancun or something like that. You know,
it was like the Virgin
Bahamas.
Islands. Yes,
it was like the Bahamas or something like that.
Yes.
Like that's where he lived, and it was something where he would every day play acoustically at this cool resort or whatever. And Matthew McConaughey happened to hear him and was like, "I'm gonna fucking start a record
We're doing
label and
it.
manage you. And he did. And so he put this guy on tour, and they were great.
That's
and
cool,
so,
man.
you know, long story short, we're at South by Southwest, and we run into some of the guys from Mishka, and they're like, hey, Matthew McConaughey's coming out and hanging out tonight. You want to come with us? Well, fucking, of course I do. And
No.
he's just
No-brainer, man.
Yeah, he's just and he was just the nicest, coolest, normal dude. Honestly, it just felt like instant, like you're just hanging out with one of your boys. And then everywhere was closing down, and you know, he goes upstairs to this bar that has this cool rooftop bar, and he's up there for about maybe 1 second, and he comes down and goes, "Oh yeah, they're gonna keep it open for me," you know. And we go up there, and they closed everything down, but left it open for us, and it was just like 10 of us, and we got to hang out on this rooftop in the middle of South by Southwest and just hang out with Matthew McConaughey and like smoke joints and drink with him. And Jared had him, one of Jared's favorite movies, and one of mine, Rain of Fire. Go check out Rain of Fire. It's great. But Jared, by the end of the night, had Matthew McConaughey like in full character from that. What was his name in that? It was
I
something
don't know,
cool.
but it was him versus Bale, and they were both just psychotic.
Yeah, it was awesome. Great movie. So yeah, that was a South by Southwest super fucking fun story. But I had one other one. We weren't even playing, and this is one of those things that just sometimes spur the moment. Some crazy shit happens, and you're involved. And I was hanging out with Cheese again, our manager, and at this time he was doing something with that watch company Vestal, and it was out of nowhere, and it was like. He hit up me and Jared, and he's like, "Hey, tomorrow I'm flying in Vestal's private jet to Austin, and we're just gonna hang out for the day, and just walk around South by Southwest and do the thing and party, and then we're gonna fly home that night on the private jet. You guys want to come?" We're like, "Fuck it, we're in." So we go to South by Southwest. It was because it was Cheese's birthday. That's right. So we were going out there to do this for Cheese's birthday, and we go, and obviously, you know. Private jet, that was super fun. We're partying on there, and we get there, and we go see a couple bands, and then we take Cheese to like the Boot Barn or whatever it was, some boot place there, and we bought him. And at this time, we didn't even have much money, and we like pulled out like the band card and bought him like $1,500 white snakeskin boots, you know. And he puts them on. He puts these white snakeskin boots on, and we go straight from there across the way. There was this big open dirt field, and there was a band playing, and it was kind of cool, you know. We're like, let's go watch this band, and it was like the Towers of London was the name of the band, and they're playing, and the singer jumps off the stage, and he's walking through the crowd doing his thing, and they're like a punk, like rock band, like super punk rock, you know? Yeah. And he's out there doing his fucking thing, and he walks like through, we're like in the kind of the back middle, just standing there, and he walks like right up to us, and Jared's standing there next to me, and he fucking like hits Jared's hat off of his head and then hits Jared's drink out of his hand.
No way.
And I don't know what he was thinking, and it's me, Jared, and Cheese, and our two buddies from Vestal who are not small guys. And where we come from, if you knock my hat off my head and knock the drink out of my hand, that means you want to fight me. Whew. So what does Jared do? He fucking hits the guy right in the face. Yeah. And the whole band jumps off the stage. The show stops. They all run out. Their crew, obviously, the people from their merch, they all rush us, and we get into a full fucking brawl with like 8 people in the middle of it. And it's like we're in a mosh pit circle brawling the fucking band. And we kind of beat the fuck out of these guys because we're not small guys, and we're not afraid to fucking fight. Right. So we were like, let's go. And we're also not guys who were mad. So we fought for a little bit, and they were actually cool guys. So we all got up, it broke up, and security and everything. And we were like, yo, what the fuck, you know? Like, they were like, why'd you punch our singer? And we're like, well, duh, he hit his hat off and knocked his drink out. Them's are fighting words. Right. So we kind of squashed it instantly. We ended up going backstage with them right after that and having beers and like hanging out and like laughing about it. Like it ended up being funny. And then from there, we went to, the last thing I remember from this day is then we go to a strip club, and I am like barely holding in, not throwing up. You know what I mean? Like I think I'm like 24 or something, you know, like, and I'm just hammered, and I'm literally on the verge of throwing up, and I'm sitting there, and this girl comes and sits on my lap, and she starts to give me a lap dance, and I'm like, whoa, no, and she's just like, yeah, I bought you that, and I was in my head just going, I'm gonna
Don't
throw up on
spin,
her.
dude.
So I literally had to mid lap dance. I picked her up and just pushed her on away and got up and I started walking to where I thought the bathroom was, and the bathroom was not there. And then I realized it and I turned around and I just remember just being like, I don't know where and I just threw up fucking right there in the middle of the floor of the strip club. That's kind of the last thing I remember from that day. And I woke up at home.
I woke up at home. That's one of the most horrifying moments in life, when you have to piss or you have to throw up and you think you found the bathroom and then you realize, because once you think you found the bathroom,
you're
your
like,
body
cool, I'm
says, "Oh
good."
yeah, go."
Yeah.
And then it's not, and it's over.
Too late.
You are
It's
now
too
going.
late.
You're on the
It's
clock.
too
That's
late.
over.
Yeah. So-
Damn, I heard.
wild,
I
dude.
knew the boot part of that story because
Yeah.
I remember. I did not know the rest of that.
Oh yeah,
That's insane.
There was actually for a long time there was like 2 videos online of the whole thing,
wish
and
that was still
they
on.
took
Yeah.
it like they're not there anymore.
Oh.
Someone had it taken down. Because we've looked for it in like other little interviews. This has come up, and during it, we've like tried to find it. And
Towers
we
of
can't find
London said,
Towers
I
of
get
London,
that.
yeah.
it. Yeah.
No, they would have left it. It sounds like they're
Yeah,
actually
they were
all right guys.
Yeah, they weren't
Right.
even bad dudes. Hey, you know what? I can respect nothing more than a little scuffle, and you get back up, and you're like, you know what? We're all good. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
We're
Probably
good.
shouldn't have hit
hang
your hat.
backstage
You
and
shouldn't
drink
have hit the
beers.
fucking hat.
No.
You shouldn't have hit the 6'3" dude's hat off. Like, like Jared's not a small guy.
So, live your best. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Feeling
something
good.
life right
Feeling
there.
good with Duddy. You know what makes me feel good? Fucking punching people. No, yeah, it doesn't. It makes me feel bad.
Wow.
But so on this show, we do a segment, and it's called One Time at Band Camp. You got something for us?
Oh, and this one time at band camp?
Nice intro.
It's
dude.
the real deal.
Yeah.
I like how we never warn anyone that there's gonna be. Duddy goes, "Hey, you got anything?" And it's always someone's about to talk, and then shit happens.
And then we're going
There's
to
a
play that one
banjo
time.
and
Yeah, and we're
and a
going to do
voice.
that, and the guy's going to be like, no, I don't. And
What
then
was
we're gonna
that?
go, "Uh-oh." So, you know what? I don't think we're ever going to tell anyone because I love to see people's
know.
reaction. They're always like, whoa,
perfect.
okay.
Yeah,
Like-
right there. It happened.
And he
should tell that.
complimented it to keep with the positive vibe. He complimented the little thing.
One
So
time
anyway,
at band camp,
yeah.
huh? Let's see. So anything like what?
Anything.
And
Music
literally
related?
anything in particular.
Something funny, something weird, something crazy, something
Something
scary.
yeah, whatever. I don't
yeah.
even care. Just
Uh,
anything. It doesn't
let's
even
see.
have to be about being like on the road or anything, but just something that stands out to you from fucking anything.
Yeah, I got the road story. I think it was another time we ended up hopping in that Econoline, and we're doing a tour up to Colorado. So
Love Colorado.
great place. I'd visited my cousin there previously because he was going to Boulder State. So I spent like 2 weeks there. I'm like, man, this town is great. We got to come over here and play, you know? So figured out how to make all that happen. And we end up going, okay, cool, we're going to Colorado. And the deal is we're going to go like from here into Boulder. We're going to go down into Colorado, into Denver. And then we're going to move our way down to like Colorado Springs, just try to hit some shows along the way. And so everything, like all systems go, right? So my fucking bass player, Birdman, he's like, I'm going to fly over there and I'll meet you there. So now it's just me, my guitar player and drummer, and my cousin at the time. And he's like, you're going back to Colorado? Free ride, dude. I'm rolling with you. Let's go.
He's no longer your cousin?
No, it's my cousin Thundercat, dude. He's the man.
Oh, he's still here. My cousin
he's
at
out
the
there
time.
fucking. He was driving, dude.
We've since broke up. He was my cousin at the time.
Wait. Thundercat?
Everyone's got a cool nickname, dude.
That's the coolest.
We were just
nickname.
gonna go right past that, like you didn't. That was my cousin Thundercat.
We
Yeah.
call him Thundercat.
That's a good name.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a good
man.
one.
Nicknames, man. I think it just kind of runs in the family.
Yeah, I got stuck with Duddy at a young age, and I fucking never left.
Was that just gifted or like?
I'm pretty sure it was my mom. I think it was just like a little name that my mom would call me, and like it just fucking stuck.
Fun to say.
Man, hey man, you know
Yeah.
you don't pick the nickname. They just
Yeah.
start calling you it one day and it sticks, right?
Yep.
So yeah. Anyways, we're like, cool, man. We're driving, we're taking shifts. We're cruising from here to Colorado. That's the goal. So we hop in the van, start making our way. We get into Utah, and it's like, man, pull over, dude. we got to fucking get out of this van for a while. It smells like fucking farts and you're like,
God, does it.
You're packed into a fucking econo line with 4 dudes, you know, on a road trip. You're like, man, this is getting crusty. Pull over. We're gonna hose off and you know, fill up on good stuff and fucking roll out.
Doritos, we're out of here.
Road snacks, road sodas, whatever, you know. So anyhow, we get into like Utah, and my guitar player at the time was like, it was his turn to drive. So we pull out of the fucking gas station, and we go to get on the freeway. And I'm like, I hop back in the van, hit the back seat, and like just fucking started to pass out because I'd been driving, right?
Yeah.
And so getting ready, just ready to fall asleep, dude. He hops on the we must have turned the corner to get up on the on ramp, and all of a sudden you hear boom. And I'm like, whoa, what's up? What just happened, dude? You know? So I go, dude, flip it around, just kind of back down safely, and fucking go back to the gas station. We'll see, you know, we can pop the hood there and see what's up. At least we're by, you know, phone or whatever we need.
At least you're by a gas station.
We're by a gas station, right? So we end up cruising back, and sure enough, there was this fucking, like, little mechanic shop above the gas station. So I'm like, great. It's
Perfect.
fucking meant to be, dude. Let's roll it up there and see what they got going on. So sure enough, we roll up, and I thought it was a head gasket, you know, like for some reason the sound that I was making, I'm like, this kind of seems similar. Maybe it's just as simple as changing the gasket. We're back on the road.
Yeah.
Shit's gonna happen, right? So we pull up to the fucking the mechanic shop, and the guy like greets us outside. So it's like, cool, man. And he's like, yep, you blew a spark plug right out of the fucking cylinder, or the, you know, I'm mechanically not you know, describing this correct. But anyways, the spark plug blew up. The back spark plug is gone now. So it's making this compression sound, dude, of like a jackhammer, like, right?
Yeah.
So I go, dude, we're a long way from home, obviously. All the gear's in the back. What do we do here? You know, we gotta like tow this motherfucker back or rent a U-Haul, sell it to somebody here.
Yeah. What are we doing?
And he's like,
Just live here?
he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how long this thing's gonna run because you're running on 7 cylinders. You know, and we're like, disconnect the injector so no fuel goes into the motor. Maybe like it's gonna be loud. Run it till it stops running. And it was like the band decision, like, are we gonna charge, boys? Is this gonna happen? You know? So they're like, if you can make it from here to Junction, Colorado, which was fucking 400 miles away, like there's a Ford dealership over there, and they might be able to take care of this shit for you, right? Because you had to re-tap the spark plug.
Yeah.
Put it in. So sure enough, dude, we're like, thumbs up, let's go. Fucking hop on the road, and we hop on the highway. We're trucking.
Oh no.
And it's fucking
The whole.
and it's fucking loud, dude. The radio's turned up as loud as it can go, but you can still hear it, you know?
Every car that's next
Mind
to
you,
you guys,
we're
just, what the
still we're still far away from Colorado. We get like kind of down the road, and now I'm driving, and I look at the fucking gas tank, and they forgot to put gas in the fucking van, dude. Couldn't believe it. Last exit before because there's a median on, and you cannot do a fucking U-turn. And so there was a little gas station sign, and it was on the exit that we were coming up on. So I was like, here we go. We got no choice, you know. It's because we can't make it back to the gas station we came from, and it's God's country out there, man. It's no cell phones, nothing, you know, like some of those parts. So we pull off, and we make the left. We go down this fucking 2-lane road, and we're in Utah, somewhere in, you know, and all to the left, it's a 2-lane road. It's those beautiful big, you know, mountains and stuff, but there's nothing out there. And we're like, fuck, dude, where's this gas station at? Sure enough, dude. So We're trucking down the fucking road.
Oh
Hey,
man.
do we
Trucking the
turn
road.
back? Do we keep going?
Yeah, it was the hills
the
have
whole
eyes,
thing,
dude. Like
the whole thing.
It was one of those moments where you're like, fuck, oh man, hey, this might not be
This
good
is getting
here,
real.
man.
Bands get into these moments too, man. You're in the hills
Yeah,
sometimes.
you're
going,
in the
where
shit,
the
dude.
fuck?
So we cruise up, and sure enough, we like crest this little hill, and there's a fucking town, man, and it's a small town, and it's one of those like post office, gas station, little liquor store, nothing.
That's it.
Like other roads, and it's like there's one pump, and we pulled up to that one pump on that fucking gas station, and we're like, whew, we made it. Sigh of relief, right? Mind you, we've been all the way fucking down the road, and so they come out and they go, oh man, this place. We go, we need to fill up the van. They go, cool. So they go, pump the gas, man, no worries, and then we'll tell you what you owe us. I'm like, this is really cool. This actually happened.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So we go pump the gas. Fuck it. Now we got to make it to Junction, Colorado. Say our thank yous. She's like, you can go down the back road and cut the highway and go this. And yeah, see that face right there, dude? It was the same thing. It was like, I don't know about that.
I've seen this movie.
Backtrack or do we flip the coin, dude? You know? So we end up making our way back to the highway. We make it to fucking Junction, Colorado. Pull into an AutoZone because from there, we've done some research on how to fucking fix the thing. So we're like, dude, we got this, right?
Yeah.
Go into AutoZone. They don't have the right tools. Fucking put on over to Ford. They go like, how is this thing still running? And we're like, I don't know. They're like, we can't fix it here. It's something that we don't have. We can't take care of it. So what do you guys want to do? And it's like, we're going to fucking Boulder, dude. We're making it to fucking Boulder by tonight. So we rode. We took that van and we fucking trucked all the way Boulder. So now we get into like the base of.
You have to
we're
climb
not even in
Boulder.
Yes, we're going that way.
Yeah.
So my cousin he's like, I know this place, man. I'm driving from here. And you're like, all right, dude, take the wheel, man.
And this is Thundercat.
Dude. Yeah. So he's like, he hops behind the wheel. Now we're fucking putting up the backside of the Rockies. Just figuring out, is it at any point in time this van is about to just go, no,
Yeah.
this ain't happening. It starts fucking snowing.
Perfect.
Shit.
Perfect.
So now you got the van loaded down. It's running on 7 cylinders, so on and so forth. And we crest the hill. We made it to the top. Now we got to make our way down in the snow. Dude, we motor on down. We end up landing in Boulder. We get out. It's like 10 degrees. You know, it's frosty. And it's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. We ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
Time to start drinking. So we made that happen. Try to find the next part in that town. We couldn't find it. So it was like, now we're on this whole fucking tour. And we finish all the way to the last day with this fucking van running on 7 cylinders, right?
Wow.
So we end up crashing out at Bird's, my bass player's cousin's house. And they end up doing something. We end up finding the fucking part. So me and Thundercat ripped the engine out, or ripped the dash apart to get to the where we needed to. We re-tapped the fucking spark plug, put in the spark plug, and we looked at each other, closed everything up, dude, and looked at each other like, you ready, dude? This is the fucking moment of truth. And fired right up. Purrs like a fucking kitten.
Nice.
Never changed that spark plug to this day. And it runs like a champ, dude.
What
Still
type of
got it.
van?
And
Ford
we took
Economy? This is like a
Ford
raging
Econoline
endorsement.
350, dude. So
There
I was
you
like,
go, dude.
then you heard all the Ford jokes, and I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That thing got put through its paces. Then we ended up, we took the flat part home. We're like, we're coming down
Yeah.
through Arizona,
Oh,
New
yeah. Oh,
Mexico,
yeah.
dude.
Much like a cowboy's horse, like a band's van, dude, it becomes an extra member of the
It's
of the
home.
van.
Oh, it's home.
Of the
It's a
band,
person.
I mean,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. We had a green like family van that we took on every tour. Same thing.
Yep. You know,
All sorts
man.
of issues, but we never got rid of it.
Dude, and when we parked in Boulder for the entire night, everyone's just, the van's off, but everyone's hearing,
Oh yeah.
because it was ticking like a jackhammer,
fucking
dude,
funny.
for 15 hours straight,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
or, however long into Boulder. So not too wild of a story, but it was just one
No,
of those
it's-
enjoyable. Like, wow, man,
It
cool
hit
journey.
the theme though, man, because we really kind of pulled the curtain back on like the other side of the music thing. What you know,
Totally.
3 different times, and that's another one, man. It's like people don't know. It's like you just see the band on stage, and that's always the absolute cream of the cream, the
Right.
creme de la creme, right there. Everything
Right.
else can be sometimes a horrific struggle, dude. Straight up.
That's all part of the journey too, man. And that's the cool part because you got all these rad stories and and it's all fucking fuel to the fire, man. Goes into
really
a
is.
song,
Yep.
I mean,
goes
yeah.
into a sound.
I remember having similar drives. I mean,
All of
that
us.
was pretty bad. But I remember having similar ones that you do that and you drive for fucking 20 hours through the snow, through the mountains. You're in a van, you're doing it, and then you get to the fucking bar and there's like 3 people there,
Yeah.
and you're like, fucking, we're here.
Yeah, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and you put on a show of a
And
lifetime.
you
You're
still
like,
play your
"Whoa,
ass
man."
off because you're like, you know what? I'm gonna play my ass off because I just sat in that van for 20
Yep.
hours.
And I
I
can't
almost died
sit
3
no-
times.
You're
Yeah.
not about to miss the best part of the night just because
Yeah.
it sucked
Yeah.
getting here.
No,
that's
no,
what it's
it's
for.
True.
And they get the rad shows and people are stoked to see and at the same time too, very fortunate and stoked because I've seen a lot of things through being able to travel that if I did something different, I might not see some of those those places, and
100%.
Yep.
that is one of the coolest things where you're with your buds, dude. You're cruising, you're going like, sometimes you're going, fuck, I don't know if we're gonna make it.
Totally.
Sometimes you're going like, we're
But
here,
somehow-
this is happening.
Somehow you like always make it. Like somehow.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
that little extra.
There's
man.
been so many times where I was just like, there's no way we're gonna fucking make this show. And
Right.
then next thing you know, you're on stage and you're playing. And you're like, fucking, how did we make this?
blink of an eye.
How did
man.
we make this happen?
Yeah. But so I had never known some of those places existed until you drive through them and you go like, whoa, dude. Yeah, cell phone don't work here. You just got you and your buds. You roll up into Texas or Colorado, and it's like, all you got is your friends,
Yep.
the guys you brought, because you know them. You're meeting, making new friends. You're experiencing, and then at the same time, you get to see the scenery. Like, dude, Evergreen, Colorado.
The best
Beautiful.
part of touring is
Oh
just
my
seeing
God.
everything.
It's beautiful.
just
That
different.
place is is
Gorgeous.
amazing.
Yeah.
Insane.
And Red Rocks, and
Oh,
I know
come on,
dude, bucket
Yeah.
list right there of just whoo.
It's something special, and it's
Did you
funny.
play?
Like,
I didn't. But when I got there the first time, I talked with I knew a band that was playing, and the trip thing was like full circle. So I got introduced to John Butler Trio. Have you ever heard of those dudes?
oh yeah.
So one of my favorite guitar players. I'm like, man, like I got to see this guy, and he had this video which was Red Rocks, live at Red Rocks. He played Oceans, and it's just this really great guitar instrumental that's happening. And I used to like prod on that video. I'm like, man, this is really cool, and I got to go to this fucking place. I got to see what this place is all about. First time I flew into Colorado, I went to visit my cousin. He had the first week off. The second week, he was like, here's the keys, dude. Like, go have fun. So I had my guitar, and I just went and started going to breweries and open mic nights, just like showing up, playing stuff that I had, written and introducing and meeting people. And then the last day, the Saturday that I was there, I was flying out on Sunday, Buddy's band was playing Red Rocks, dude, and they're like, hey, come, we got you a ticket, dude, we heard you're here. I'm like, no way. This is real.
Perfect.
Cool, man. So I get there. I think I'm just getting a general admission ticket. Next thing you know, I'm on the side of the stage, and then just seeing the packed house, and you're like, whoa, dude.
It's nuts. Yeah,
It's
Red
nuts.
Rocks
What
is
a
insanely special
perspective,
place.
man, and an experience, and spiritual, like, woo.
Oh yeah. There's no feeling like
there's
it.
an atmosphere there.
Yeah.
There's an energy.
There
that's
really
just,
is.
like,
It's a special
incredible,
place.
man.
Yeah. We get asked so many interviews, like, what's your favorite place to play? And it's just every time you're like, it's Red Rocks.
Just
Like,
hands down.
it's
Yeah.
Red Rocks. There is something really cool about that place. And like you said, like the perspective, from the fans is amazing, but the perspective for the bands, the people on stage is pretty.